In 2003, legendary boxer Mike Tyson officially declared bankruptcy, with $30 million in debt. Yep, you heard that right, $30 million. And this was a man who had earned over $300 million in his career. That story gave me one monster of a question about money. Why do we work so hard, grind non-stop, do everything we possibly can, just to end up not being able to keep any of it? This isn't just Tyson's story, it's the lifestyle of so many young people today. Especially when living luxuriously on loans and credit is becoming, let's say, a trending hobby. So the real question is, what does money actually mean to you and me? Is it true that money comes and then money magically disappears? Have you ever been so broke that you start thinking about making money in any way possible, even when you know it might be a trap? Today, we're going to unpack all those questions and figure out how the way you think about money can completely change how much you can actually make. The problem isn't the number. The problem is the mindset, and to fix that mindset, we need a fresh perspective, a new way of understanding money that everyone should equip themselves with. So, what is money? Textbooks say money is a medium of exchange for goods and services. But simply put, money is value. If you spend $5 on a cup of coffee, it's because you think that cup is worth $5. And sometimes, let's be honest, it's totally not. You trade money for value. Money is just a way to represent value. This is important, because we often attach moral labels to money. Like when someone suddenly gets rich, people instantly say, they must have done something shady. A lot of people believe money is the root of evil, but actually, the Bible says, the love of money, not money itself, is the root of evil. Money isn't good or bad, it's simply a tool. You can use it to create value or destroy value. It's all up to you. Sure, there are scammers selling trashy products and calling them worth it, but that's their moral problem, not money's fault. Money doesn't make you better or worse. It just amplifies who you already are. If you're kind, having more money means you can help more people. If you're selfish, well, more money just makes you better at being selfish. When everyone is equally broke, nobody can tell the difference. But once someone suddenly gets rich, that's when their true colors show. So, in short, money is a reflection of value. I spend money on something because I think it's valuable. And the more value you create, the more money you earn. But if you're barely surviving each day or drowning in credit card debt, the phrase money equals value might sound like nonsense. So let me ask you this. What kind of relationship do you have with money? Are you controlling your money? Or is money controlling you? Money comes and it goes. That's unavoidable. You earn money, and then you pay rent, electricity, water, food, vacations. Money comes when you create value, that's production. Money leaves when you use it, that's consumption. Produce equals make money, consume equals make money disappear. And the gap between what you produce and what you consume is the clearest picture of your relationship with money. That gap is called net worth, and net worth equals production misconsumption. If you produce more than you consume, your money grows. If you consume more than you produce, debt grows. For example, credit card debt in the US is at a record high. And it's not just low-income people, even those making over $100,000 a year. About 10% of them are living paycheck to paycheck. How does someone earn $100,000 and still end up broke? Because the problem isn't income, it's consumption. Some people earn more money and instantly spend more money. The moment their salary increases, they upgrade their lifestyle. New phone, luxury car, fancy apartment with a killer view. That's lifestyle inflation, showing off wealth for admiration, and ending up broke because of ego and appearances. That's why so many celebrities, singers, actors, athletes, people who earn money like water, still go bankrupt. They have to maintain an image. Designer clothes, luxury bags, expensive events. But sometimes, that lifestyle gets so out of control that no matter how much money you make, it's never enough, and trust me, I know this way too well. 2 years ago, I wasn't making a ton of money, but I still somehow managed to buy anything I liked after just 1 month of work. I loved shopping. New clothes, new gadgets, you know, the flex for Instagram so people think I'm glowing era. The result? I realized the only people I impressed were people who didn't matter at all. Meanwhile, the people close to me thought I was being irresponsible and burning money like it grew on trees, and me. I was broke all the time. That was my first real-life financial lesson, and it was an expensive one. This is the exact financial trap so many people fall into without realizing. Or maybe they do realize it, but choose to ignore it. It's called the rat race, an endless loop where you're running, without knowing where you're even going. Some people think the rat race is simply working a 9-to-5 job. But no, some people hate 9 to 5, some feel totally fine with it, and some are using it to chase a bigger dream. The rat race isn't about the job. It's about being one paycheck away from disaster. Money enters your account and evaporates instantly, and that's before you add the pressure of family, kids, loans, mortgages. One small plot twist, losing a job, illness, an accident, and your entire financial life collapses like dominoes. That's the price of living with a YOLO, tomorrow can wait mindset. At that point, your job isn't a choice anymore. It's your only life raft, keeping you afloat in a lifestyle you don't even need. And when you have no choice, you have no freedom. There's a saying, the things you own end up owning you. Sounds deep, because it is. The good news: you can escape this cycle the moment you truly understand your relationship with money. Step 1. Look inside your wallet. Write down your monthly expenses: rent, food, transport, utilities, entertainment. Sounds simple, right? Yeah. No. For me, this was the hardest part. I used to suffer from the ostrich effect, knowing I was almost out of money, but refusing to check my balance, like, if I don't look at it, my heart won't hurt. But once you face that fear, you start gaining control over your financial life. After the painful realization of, okay, I'm actually broke, comes the next step. Step 2. Create a monthly budget and stick to it. I know it sounds like financial prison, but this is the only way to save money, avoid overspending, and actually live below your means. Only then can you have savings for investing, or at the very least, stop drowning in debt every month. Because trust me, you might survive a few months overspending, but over the long term, it will. Before you dream of investing like Warren Buffett, you need something called an emergency fund. That means saving 3 to 6 months of living expenses for moments like illness, accidents, or sudden financial emergencies. It's boring, it's not sexy, it doesn't make money like an investment, but it gives you oxygen, and without oxygen, everything collapses. Everyone knows this. I knew it too, but I still didn't do it. Why? Because the answer lies in behavioral psychology. Earlier we talked about the ostrich effect, avoiding reality. Now, we have hyperbolic discounting, choosing short-term pleasure over long-term benefit. Buying a $200 pair of shoes, immediate happiness, saving that $200. Zero excitement, you get numbers, tiny interest, and a feeling of why am I even doing this? Short-term pleasure, long-term pain. There's another behavior, social proof. If friends are buying the latest iPhone, we feel like we need one too. Otherwise, we become the outdated friend. This is called keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with your neighbors. Classmates, co-workers, neighbor gets a new car. You suddenly need a new car. Someone posts a resort vacation. You immediately ask for flight prices. Except today, our neighbors are Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Social media is full of 13-year-olds making millions, 25-year-olds buying houses for their parents, couples gifting each other watches worth a small house. Honestly, isn't that just another form of emotional violence? It's the tip of the iceberg. We only see the shiny part they want us to see, not the debt, the stress, the anxiety, the pressure behind it. I'm not saying spending money is bad. Who doesn't love good food, nice clothes, or a new gadget? The problem is spending money to impress other people. That's financial self-destruction. That's the difference between controlling money and being controlled by money. The real rat race isn't working in an office, it's working endlessly to maintain a lifestyle you don't actually need. If your goal is more likes on Instagram, no amount of money will ever be enough, from my own experience. If I want something non-essential, I wait 2 months. If I still want it after 2 months, I buy it, because when you start earning more, you naturally want to reward yourself, and soon, you buy everything you kinda like, until you realize you don't even use half of it. At the end of the day, if you don't want money to strangle your life, then saving comes before getting rich. Maybe it won't look glamorous or impressive, but at least you won't be living day to day just to pay off pointless debt. And before investing, you have to wipe out debt and build that emergency fund. That's what gives you the freedom not to collapse when life surprises you. That was the spending part. Now let's talk about the other half of the money equation. Production, or how to make more money. When people talk about personal finance, they usually focus on saving, budgeting, spending less, investing long-term. Great concepts, especially for chronic overspenders. But there's another side we often ignore. How do you earn money better? Cutting $100 from your expenses is easier than earning an extra $100. But in the long game, your income matters too. Recently, we've seen trends like FIRE, financial independence, retire early, save aggressively, invest consistently, retire as soon as possible, or minimalism by less, focus on experiences, live with intention. These ideas are great, especially if you already have a stable income and want long-term financial health. But here's the truth. People earning hundreds of thousands per month aren't rich because they skipped buying a designer bag. They're rich because of the value they create. They produce value at scale, and the market rewards them massively. I'm not saying forget saving, go make more money, no. Saving must go hand in hand with increasing your income. That's where the magic happens. And the topic of how to earn more is huge, like ocean huge. But the core idea is simple. To create more value, you must become more valuable. And becoming more valuable isn't instant. It's a process. Years of learning, working, failing, gaining skills, gaining experience. Your breakthrough might not come at 25. Maybe it comes at 35 or 40 when your knowledge, experience, and skill finally combine into something people will pay for. If you just graduated, this is the time to sharpen your axe, not try to chop down a forest with a dull blade. Sharpen the axe, then chop 1 tree, then 2, then use that money to buy a chainsaw. And that's when you can clear the whole forest. I hope today's episode gave you some ideas, some clarity, maybe a little motivation to build a healthier financial future. Now go out there and make some money.